Yeah, I kind of feel like playing some Sergei. Yeah, he's a really cool character. He's just really good, and they made his good moves so good that it's kind of like, you know, you don't really have much incentive to use much else other than down to running to good, solid sidestepping and the appropriate punish for every situation. Like, they whiffed, okay, whiff punish. You sidestep, okay, sidestep punish. They're near the wall, okay, wall splat move. You think they're gonna blah blah blah, appropriate decision, right? But outside of appropriate decision, which is very bland and by the book, you do what you're supposed to do at the right time, right? Okay, A, B, C, it's cut and dry, no creativity there. Outside of that, what's left is not much incentive to use anything other than this and this and backswing blow. That gives you a little bit of creativity room. You know.
Thank you.
You tell me. Don't you think Sergei's a hard character to master compared to others? Well, that's loaded, because you're giving me your opinion in the question. Like, don't you think this? And so, first of all, let me just say that I don't want to know your opinion. But that being said, I think that his execution is high. Even though he's bland, right, in this game, you have to be able to do this running two over and over again, you know? Every time. Even JDCR misses it. Like, you know, you saw him miss it a lot. I see Nobi miss it less, you know, but he's been doing it his whole life. You gotta do it, like, every time. It's hard to do. And it's boring to watch. As a viewer, it's like, oh, the same move over and over again. But if you don't know how hard it is to do this move from point-blank range every time in tournament when you're nervous, I mean, you're not understanding how hard it is to do. It's hard to do. It's hard to do from both sides every time, definitely. So yeah, I mean, high execution. Not to mention the step kick cancel. Though it's not like the hardest thing in the world to do, honestly, I don't think it's that hard. But it definitely requires some practice and adjusting. So if you're going from PC to PS4, maybe there's a, like, you know, you're nervous, there's a setup on stage. I think it would take a little bit of adjusting compared to Jack. Down forward 2, 2, down forward 1, 1. You know, it's like, oh shit. Look at the difference. This guy's doing step kick cancels and running 2 and all kinds of hard shit. And Jack is like forward, forward 1. Forward, forward 1. And it's like, oh fuck. You know, it's a big difference in execution. But that doesn't matter to the viewer. To the viewer, the value, I mean, the frequency of running 2, that you see it 100 times, right? You see Jackhammer 100 times too, but to the viewer, they're both just as cheesy and annoying as each other because they're spammy moves, but one is much, much harder to do than the other. One, I mean, is like, you gotta be on point to pull that shit out of your ass in the clutch when you're about to die. You got no life left, there's 2 seconds and you're on a stage, and, you know, I mean, it's hard to do. Forward, forward 1 is not that hard to do. It's just forward, forward 1. But they both get the same amount of hate. I think they're both very good moves. I don't know if they're equally good moves, but I think they're both very abusable and good. What's important to remember about Sergei? Duh. This move is crazy. I mean, running 2 is good too, right? It's super good, but this move is so good. It became like, why did they make it do this on counter hit? What the fuck? That's odd that they made it do that. Doesn't even look right. That is so good. This move is so cheap, right? Full tracking and high crush? Full tracking and high crush. It's pretty good. What's your rationale behind picking Sergey? I don't really use it very often, so I don't really know what you're asking me, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I wish I didn't read that out loud and I could have just ignored it. Anyway, how's it going?